welcome to the 210th episode of Gaming Talk. I have deferred to the Wikipedia list for the episode of the best-selling video games, and I'm going to be discussing each of the ones that I played that are on this list. I'll be going from number 50 down to number 1. Of course, if I have footage of said game, I'll throw it up in one of these corners. And if not, I'll just throw up some box art in one of these corners. So, let's get into it. Starting things off with number 50 on the list, which is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. This is one of the Call of Duty games that is a little more nostalgic for me. Mostly because when I was in high school, when the game came out, and I was in this kind of tech class, and I had an assignment to make something to be posted on the school's website. Me, being the nerd that I am, I decided I was going to write a review for Black Ops 2. But there was one problem. I didn't own the game, and I was not in the position where I had my own money to spend on it. And there was no way that little old me could convince my parents to buy me a brand new $60 game. So, at the time, I did the next best thing, which was to rent the game from the local video store. I played as much of the game as I could, which was mostly just completing the campaign, as the game had to be returned in 1 week. Of course, now I own the game on PC, completed the campaign, and experienced enough of multiplayer and zombie for my taste. It's a very good campaign, since this was back at the time when they actually cared about stories being told in these games. It was the first COD game to have multiple endings, depending on what choices you made. The multiplayer isn't all that special to me, it's just standard COD multiplayer. Zombies is a difficult one for me to quantify, just because I do prefer Black Ops 1 and 2 zombies over the newer zombies. One aspect of the older zombies, though, that I don't like is the 2 hits and you're dead system, as it makes solo runs for me a lot more difficult. I also really only like the survival mode over the transit mode, and that's because transit mode doesn't really make it clear what you're supposed to be doing, as I had to look up what I was supposed to do. But yeah, for the campaign alone, I can definitely recommend Black Ops 2. Moving on to number 45 on the list, which is the Generation 7 Pokemon games, of which I have played both Pokemon Sun and Ultra Sun. Pokemon Sun is the first Pokemon game that I ever played. Came out when I got my partner Pokemon Moon for their birthday. This, of course, was before I ever owned a 3DS of my own. I watched my partner play Pokemon Moon, and I really enjoyed what I saw. And not too long after that, I got myself a blue Pokemon X and Y 3DS and Pokemon Sun. To this day, Sun is the Pokemon game that I've put the most time into, and have the most full Pokedex as well. Not a full Pokedex, but it's the fullest out of the Pokemon games I own. Ultra Sun was a later buy, and solely because I wanted to see what kind of changes they made and differences there were. Not something I put as much time into as I did with Sun, but both games are good. At this point, with both versions out there, it probably makes the most sense to get Ultra Sun or Moon over the original Sun and Moon, but that's up to you. Both are good quality games, though, that I can definitely recommend. After that is number 44, which is Call of Duty Black Ops, number 1. Unfortunately, I don't have any kind of nostalgic story to accompany this game like I did with Black Ops 2. The first time I played this was on PC, but this is another one that has a very solid campaign that tried to do something different. Since it was released in between Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops was the game that finally gave people zombies as a full-fledged separate mode for the first time, because it was part of World at War. Of course, my main focus was the campaign, which, as I said, was pretty dang solid. and differentiate itself from what was going on in the Modern Warfare games. The campaign was mainly set in the Cold War, but also had some missions in Vietnam, which was a first for Call of Duty. They also did some other neat stuff that made the game stand out, like the main menu was really cool. You're imprisoned with all these screens and numbers, and of course the very haunting music that would later be used in Zombies, of course. It was a big departure from what Modern Warfare was doing at the time. As with Black Ops 2, the multiplayer is your standard fare COD multiplayer, and the Zombies is alright. I still hate the 2-hit down system, but I prefer this game and Black Ops 2 Zombies over any of the newer Zombies. Again, on the campaign alone, Black Ops is highly recommended. Number 43 is going to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 from 2011. The good one, in my book. MW3 is definitely my favorite COD game. The campaign was pretty good, very much bombastic and over the top, and the way that it just kind of throws you into the action in the first mission. I'm sorry you're all sick of saying this, but multiplayer, it's your standard, typical Call of Duty multiplayer. But the mode that really did it for me in this one is Spec Ops Survival. Now yes, I've played each of the maps, but I always find myself coming back to Underground. It's the one that I've played the most, and have my own personal, very solid setup for it. Basically what I do is I start out getting enough money to get 2 of the LMGs, I don't remember what names they are, and I get the grip and some kind of sight on them. Then I'll purchase turrets to be on either side of me, and finally I'll get a riot team, and yeah, that was my super solid plan. I would just kind of replenish them as I would go. I have no idea right now what my best wave is on Underground, because I didn't look, but Spec Ops Survival was a terrific mode, and basically the biggest reason why Modern Warfare 3 is my favorite COD game. It is, of course, highly recommended. Next up is number 42, and that is going to be Generation 8 Pokemon games, which I have Pokemon Shield. Yes, this was the first semi-open world Pokemon game, which doesn't really do that much for me. Look, okay, small tangent here. Pokemon is not a series that I thought needed to be open world. Plus, when I got my start with Sun and Moon, I went back to X and Y, then Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and eventually Black and White. So I'm used to the single route Pokemon games, which honestly I do prefer it that way, but small tangent over. All the wild area stuff just really never did it for me, nor did those wild area nests. I'm also not really a fan of the Gigantamax gimmick, even though the large stadium battle aspect is actually pretty cool, as it makes Pokemon battles feel like a sport. This was the first Pokemon game to have player customization, however limited it was. It was also the first Pokemon game to have DLC story expansions that were kind of just okay compared to the base game. It's honestly an alright Pokemon experience, but it did not leave a great impression as the first new Pokemon games on the Switch that weren't like remakes or anything. I think I can really only recommend these games if you've played other Pokemon games and enjoy the series. Jumping down to one of the games that shares number 30 on this list, that is Borderlands 2. I'm just gonna say it, I do not like this game at all. I know I'm slandering what is, to many Borderlands fans, the best in the series. I don't care. Many of the times I found myself playing this game, I was not having fun at all. I was angry most of the time. The biggest problem I have with the game, which is the most constant problem I had with it, is that I found it impossible to have guns that would be at the level or maybe a level below my level, and subsequently the level of the enemies. Most of the time my guns were underpowered and did so little damage and caused me to die way more often. It also didn't help that none of the guns in the shops would be better, none of the guns from dead enemies would be better, and rarely would mission reward guns be better, and it just made my time in Borderlands 2, not fun, and very angering that 2 times now I have quit playing Borderlands 2. And the second time, it was for good. Like, I'm not coming back to it. I thought, oh, maybe I could get through the story, finish the game. No, I'm never finishing the game, and I no longer care to. And personally, I cannot recommend this game. But that's just me. Take it with a grain of salt. After that is number 24, and that is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Guess what? Spoiler alert. I fucking hate this game. Spoiler alert. I hate this fucking game. Yep, strap in for a rant on how much I hate a game that my own partner and many other people absolutely love. First of all, I've never been all that big into Zelda games because I find them far too complicated and have far too many puzzles for my small mind to be able to handle. I don't like puzzles in games unless they're very easy, like in Portal and Portal 2. Second off, I've only completed 3 Zelda games in my entire life. The first was Wind Waker, the second was Phantom Hourglass, and the third was Spirit Tracks. And all 3 of them were on emulators, where I scummed my way through them and used guides on all of them because otherwise I would have had no fucking clue what I was doing. There are multiple reasons that I hate Breath of the Wild. There are people that bash on games, for hand-holding, and yeah, there's a limit to how much hand-holding I like in a game. Breath of the Wild is the game where it doesn't do that. It just drops you in and makes you figure out the rest on your own, and I hate that. I need some kind of structure in my games, and Breath of the Wild doesn't do that. It's like how people praise Breath of the Wild because you could just run to the final boss without doing anything in the game, and personally, I don't know if that's a good thing. Especially when the other option makes the final boss easier to deal with. The other big aspect is the survival aspects. Breakable weapons is something that I despise in all games. The only one that does it mildly well is like the Dead Island, the first few Dead Island games, not new ones. Some weapons though, it's like you hit a leaf out of the air and the weapon breaks. It's really that bad in Breath of the Wild. On top of that, the cooking your own buffs and having to find ingredients, it's not something that I want to do in a game like this. The combat, though, is awful, and it seems like one should just avoid combat as much as possible. Again, it's not something I want to do in a game like this. Look, I'm going to save myself and you guys from me ranting further about a game that I hate and say, I'm not going to recommend it. That's my own personal taste, though. Most people love this game. Take it as you will. Next up is one of the contenders for number 18, and that is Stardew Valley. I bought this game from the Switch eShop because it felt like a game to have on my Switch. Kind of similar to Animal Crossing, but different enough to be its own thing, and it is. Yeah, up until I actually played it, I had a lot of friends telling me that based on me enjoying Animal Crossing New Leaf and New Horizons, that I would like Stardew Valley as it is similar to those Animal Crossing titles. And they were right. I do enjoy Stardew Valley, but I don't really feel the comparison with Animal Crossing is really there. There's not much about Stardew Valley that everyone else hasn't said, mostly because I've not spent that much time in it. I've honestly not touched it in a very long time. You farm throughout different seasons. There's a cave you can go fight stuff in. You can sell things, build new buildings, and so on. It is a very cozy game that I honestly need to spend more time in, since there's a lot that I have yet to experience. But I can still definitely recommend it. Next, we are going to number 14 with Animal Crossing New Horizons. I actually got this game on release day, and at the time, I was so excited to finally have a new Animal Crossing game. Graphically, it does look really good on the Switch. The problem at the time, though, is that it felt like there was really not much to do. When you start it, you're really just raising your island rating level, and then what happens when you do that? You get a cutscene with, what's his name, who plays the guitar as the credits roll, and you're confused like I was, thinking that the game is over, when it's not. The problem is, though, that after that, the game just becomes making enough money to pay back your debts for house expansions and really not much else. Of course, you can accomplish that by doing picking fruit, fishing, and digging up fossils, and basically, okay, doing all of those things, because what else does one have to do? There's some small free updates that added furniture and villagers, but nothing really all that big until the paid Happy Home expansion. I mean, hey, do you remember Happy Home Designer on the 3DS? No? Well, guess what? You can do that in New Horizons now, until you get bored of it like I did. There's also added a villager where you can go and take photos of other villagers, and yeah. You gave Nintendo money for this crap, man. Look, I do enjoy New Horizons, but there was just a lack of content that could have been. And even after all the small updates and 1 expansions, it was still lacking in content. New Leaf itself had so much to it, and that was a 3DS game. This is a Switch game. Surely they could have put as much into it as New Leaf, but sadly, they didn't. Still, I can definitely recommend New Horizons. After that, I'm heading to number 5. That's only 4 fingers. Yeah, so this is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yep, this one makes so much money for Nintendo because the Deluxe Edition did so much for Mario Kart 8 sales that the original Wii U game just couldn't have ever imagined it, I suppose. On release, it's a very simple, full Mario Kart 8 package, all DLC tracks and characters included. Like I said, Deluxe did so much for the sales that they eventually did that whole DLC pass thing, like with Pokemon Sword and Shield, that it added a ton more tracks and characters to the game, even if the majority of the tracks were from Mario Kart Tour mobile game. But because of these sales, Nintendo basically just rode out Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sales until they really felt like they had to make a new Mario Kart game with the release of the Switch 2. Look, I honestly feel like if the Switch 2 had not happened, Nintendo wouldn't have bothered with a new Mario Kart game because, as I keep saying, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is so popular and sells so well that they would have just kept on that. Having played this game a ton, it is the best Mario Kart game that I've played. Probably the best one out there. And yeah, I haven't played the new one because I don't have a Switch 2. But I don't really care. Again, highly recommended. Of course, the last one is number 1 on the list, which is Minecraft. I'm just gonna come right out of the gate and say this with all the honesty I have. Fuck Minecraft. No, I'm not saying that because I'm a part of some group of people that thinks that Minecraft is horribly overrated. No, I've played enough Minecraft to form my ultimate opinion of fuck Minecraft. And also, yes, Minecraft is highly overrated too. I need to make this absolutely clear that I'm talking about base vanilla Minecraft, which is the most boring thing out there. I can have some fun in creative mode, because I can just build whatever I want. But the survival mode, the one that everybody plays, it is just so boring. I know. It's very limited, which Minecraft and limited in the same sentence? How dare I? I like how in creative mode, though, I can just get access to any material in the game. Yeah, survival mode, you gotta mine the materials yourself. Hope that a monster or lava doesn't kill you. Look, I've even played enough survival mode on the no monsters difficulty, and I still died from lava several times. And it makes me more upset when that happens because now I can't get anything back because lava. Minecraft is a game that is literally so boring, I've literally fallen asleep playing it. Now, at this point, you're probably yelling at whatever device you're watching this on to tell me, play Minecraft with mods, and you know what? That proves my point. Vanilla Minecraft is so boring that people would rather mod it than play it. Like, yeah, you can mod the hell out of a game like Skyrim, but at least vanilla Skyrim is a lot of fun to play on its own. You don't actually need mods. Minecraft, compared to that, is so boring, combined with actually some personal stuff related to an ex that I have, and yeah, I am never going back to it. Plus, I've managed to find two mining games on Roblox that are far more interesting than Minecraft could ever be. I'm not going to say whether or not I recommend it because it's Minecraft. You could form your own opinion on it. But there you go. Me talking about all the games that I've played that are on the list of best-selling video games. Now, if you're wondering about the rest of the games on this list, I will now briefly mention why I have not included them. Number 48, Grand Theft Auto 4. Because I played it briefly back on PS3 many years ago and I don't remember of it. Also, I don't care about Grand Theft Auto. Number 48, Phasmophobia, a multiplayer horror game that I've had zero interest in. Number 47, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Because I've never played the original DS games and only the remakes on Switch, which I still have not finished. Number 46, Garry's Mod. I kinda don't care. Number 41, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, because the games looked like shit upon release, and I haven't bothered to get them. Number 40, Black Myth Wukong. I don't care. Number 39, Wii Play. I did not own a Wii to play this. Number 38, Duck Hunt. I know I'm going to offend a lot of retro gamers here, but I don't care about playing this game. Number 37, Monster Hunter World. Fuck Monster Hunter unless it's the stories games. Number 36, Super Mario Odyssey. I don't like Mario games that are not Mario Kart or Mario Party. Number 31, GTA San Andreas. I still don't care about GTA. Number 31, Cyberpunk 2077. Haven't gotten around to it. Number 31, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Modern Call of Duty games are terrible and I stopped caring after a certain point. Number 31, Elden Ring. I don't play or enjoy Souls-likes. Number 30, Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal. I owned Pokemon Crystal on the 3DS and played it for about 5 minutes many years ago and never came back to it. Number 29, Super Mario Bros. Wii. I don't like Mario games that are not Mario Kart or Mario Party. Number 28, New Super Mario Bros. I don't like Mario games that are not Mario Kart or Mario Party. Number 27, Wii Sports Resorts. Did not own a Wii to play this. Number 26, Hogwarts Legacy. Fuck Harry Potter, the Wizarding World, and J.K. Rowling. Number 25, Tetris for Game Boy, because Tetris Effect Connected is the best and only Tetris game I will ever play. Number 23, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, a franchise I've never bothered with because it's very multiplayer focused. Number 22, Mario Kart Wii, did not own a Wii to play this. Number 20, Sonic the Hedgehog, I don't care about Sonic games outside of the racing ones. Number 20, Payday 2, I don't care. Number 18, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. Modern Call of Duty games are terrible and I stopped caring after a certain point. Number 17, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, because I've heard the campaign sucks, so there's no reason for me to play it. Number 16, Wii Fit/Wii Fit Plus, I don't care about the fitness thing. Number 15, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow. Me and old Pokemon games do not get along. Number 12, The Sims. Super fucking boring. Number 12, Overwatch, because hero shooters are overrated and are multiplayer games. Number 11, Human Fall Flat. What the fuck even is this? Number 10, Super Mario Bros. I do own and have played it on my 3DS. I didn't mention it because everyone knows what this game is, so there's no point in me including it. Number 9, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Tried the first 2 Witcher games and didn't like them, so I never bothered with the third one. Number 8, Terraria. Looks too far complicated for me to play. Number 7, The Oregon Trail. I know I'm going to offend a lot of retro gamers here, but I don't care about playing this game. Number 6, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Fuck Battle Royale games. Number 4, Red Dead Redemption 2. Played the first one back on the PS3, and I have not been interested in the second one. Number 3, Wii Sports, something I played back when I was in middle school at my aunt and uncle's house. Everyone knows this game, so there's no need to talk about it. And finally, number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5. I still don't care about Grand Theft Auto. Honestly, I can't wait to see how many people get offended about this list, because they either don't care about or didn't like their favorite game, and it's going to be super hilarious. But that's all I've got, so if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.